Thornhill sexuality educator, and today I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite books, The Guide to Getting It On. This is a big, heavy, fat, monster-sized book because it's a really comprehensive resource. It's a book that I go to all the time when I'm writing or I just need to look something up really quickly for somebody. It talks about so many aspects of sexuality. It talks about sexual health, it talks about sexual pleasure, it talks about sexual techniques, it talks about sexual orientation, it talks about gender identity, it talks about all sorts of things. So this, I think, is a really great book to have around as an adult. But this can also be a really helpful resource for if you have older kids. So I'm thinking of teens, particularly teens if they're sexually active or having partnered sex, or, you know, within a couple of years of maybe doing that. This is a really great book to just have hanging around your house. Now, some of the sex ed books I have in my library are very technical, they're very academic, they get kind of scientific, kind of dry. They're not the kind of books that I'm going to recommend to a client or to the average person because they're just not that fun to read unless this is what you do professionally. This book, on the other hand, is written in plain language. There's a lot of humor, so it's very accessible, it's very easy to read, either for, you know, adults or for teens. Something else I enjoy about this book is that it has a lot of illustrations. Now, it has, you know, diagrams, which you will find in a lot of educational sex books, but it also just has, you know, different fun drawings here, and those are all throughout the books. You should be aware that a lot of the drawings are very explicit. There are lots of drawings of naked pictures, there are close-up drawings of breasts, of penises, of testicles, of clitorises, of vulvas, of vaginas, of, you know, people engaged in different sex in different positions. So there are some, pretty racy pictures in here, which for some families is great and it's fine. For other families, that may not be so cool, so just be aware that that is in this book. This is also a really great resource for teens who are becoming sexually active and want to know more about sexual pleasure. So I talked in another video about how even if we as parents support our children's sexual pleasure and that's something that we want for them, sometimes it's uncomfortable talking to them about, you know, the specifics of how to achieve sexual pleasure. So providing a book like this supports their pleasure without you having to, you know, get too detailed about things. It talks about or explains subjects that, you know, me as families may not want to get into too much. Things like kink, things like fetishes, things like sexual positions, things like, you know, specific sexual techniques. This book covers them. It's, you know, factual. This is all sound information. So if teens have a book like this, that can save them a trip to, you know, the internet and Googling things and stumbling across questionable information. So you can find this book a few places. If you live in if you live in a city or a town with a sex positive store or bookstore, you can probably find this book there. You can also order this book online from a few publishing houses, and I will put some links down below. It usually retails for, I've seen it somewhere between $30 and $40, depending on where you are. That's a lot for a book, but like I said, there's a lot in this book. And like I said, this is a book that I use all the time. This is a book that if you buy it for your teens, they can literally keep this book, you know, for years and years and years and years. And every few years there's an updated edition that comes out because of course there's new information. But this is one of my older editions, and I would still say that, you know, a good like 95% of the information in here is still relevant. I use it all the time. So this is like an investment book. This is a book that your kids can get as teens and they can keep well into adulthood. Anyway, yeah, this is just a solid book. The Guide to Getting It On by, Paul Joannides. I didn't tell you the name of the author at the beginning of the video. But yes, look out for this. This is, you know, this is a sex ed all-star book. Highly recommend. In the comments below, let me know if there was a book you read growing up that taught you something important about sex or sexuality, or if there's a book that you have shared or want to share with your own kid. If you are interested in parent consulting or sex ed workshops, then you should check out my website, NadineThornhill.com. And as always, please like and share this video, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. That is all for today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. One of the things that they would love to be able to talk to their families about is sexual pleasure.